Hey, Terry, new week, new
Yep.
show. We got a new idea today, too, that I think it'll be a lot of fun at the end. Instead of Terry and I just doing our prime rib pick fours individually, we've decided we're going to have a build one together pick four. So we'll call it I don't know what you want to call it. So it's still the prime rib because we'll be spending a little bit more money, but each of us will throw out a horse and try to convince the other that the horse belongs on the ticket. So we'll build the ticket live. And then each one of us will have what's called a lock. So if there's a horse that I like that Terry doesn't like, I can just say, I'm locking this horse. That's it. Terry has nothing to say. And the other way around for Terry as well. Of course, if there's a horse that Terry likes that I can't stand, Terry can lock it in. So yes, I think this will be great, fun exercise too. Either that or we'll just be total agreement. And be like, yeah, put them in. That's all. Let's put them all in. All. Yes, we have a winner for sure. That would be the way to do it. So it was an interesting weekend of racing, Terry. Got Stormy, the old man, kind of showed up, represented us, yay, at the 4-Star Dave to get into the Breeders' Cup turf, right?
Yep.
Good. That was surprising, yeah. Unexpected. He went back in form. And then, of course, you had some big races at Arlington Park. Big upset with Domestic Spending getting beat by two Emmys, right? The name of the horse?
Yeah. And I was really shocked because I thought that was a lock with it, really a lock. So.
Yes, remember on the show we talked about the horse racing, the Player's Edge podcast. We talked about that race, and there was another one in there called Busy Channel. And we talked about if you liked Busy Channel, which I think went off as the second favorite, then you had to like two Emmys because the two of them had been racing neck and neck in 2021. So looks like they were able to get away with some easy, cheap fractions and then hold on at the end. I mean, Domestic Spending, another quarter, I'd say another 16, not even a 16th of a mile, another 100 yards in Domestic Spending wins, right?
Yeah, and then in that first leg that we had picked, Santa Barbara won. I was surprised it ended up being the favorite. So
yeah, I was surprised too, especially with the scratches taking out some other of the potential speeds. So I figured that would really set up for Mean Mary. But Santa Barbara's the real deal, right? Looking forward to probably seeing that horse at the Breeders' Cup in November out at Del Mar. Just make sure you circle that one on your calendar because that's a horse that's probably going to show well that day.
Yeah, I liked it, even though my ex-wife's name is Mary. So,
and you said sometimes she was mean. So
she was sometimes, yeah.
Well, I'm sure they say the same about us, Terry. Right?
Oh yeah,
except for us, it wasn't sometimes; it was all the time.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, Tom Carley says, he agrees about the 53-second opening half for two Emmys, and that definitely Santa Barbara is the real deal. Now, we talked about it being bye-bye to Arlington, but maybe, Terry, it's not bye-bye to Arlington.
Yeah, maybe not. So I guess another group came in and made an offer, another horse group that wants to save the track.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I'm hoping that kind of comes through because I do like, I think if they do revamp Hawthorne and make it a Racino, upgrade everything there, it'll be a really nice track. It's easy to get to, although it's kind of difficult to get to because if you're familiar with Chicago, there are certain areas in the city where traffic is just crazy out of its mind. And getting to 55, which is the highway that goes down to where the Hawthorne racetrack is, can be a nightmare, especially at like rush hours trying to head south out of the city. Insane. During the middle of the day wouldn't be as bad. And then sometimes coming back home, right where the city is what's called the Loop. You're familiar with that term? Perhaps they call Chicago the Loop. Yes. Right there where all these highways come together. It's been under construction since I've been like 2. I'm 55 now, and it's still under construction, and it's just mayhem down there. So I would much rather Arlington's a little bit of cleaner trip out to Arlington than it would be down to Hawthorne.
Yeah, I like Arlington Park. I've been there once, and I liked it a lot. So, and I'm hoping that Churchill Downs Incorporated would stop being so adamant that it's going to be a non-racing entity that buys this. So,
well, I guess maybe they don't want to be shown up that it can work, right?
Yes, I think that's it.
Because if you bail out of something because you think it can't work and then it does work, then it makes you kind of look like you have some foolish management, maybe, right?
Yes,
for sure. Well, speaking of, I don't want to call it foolishness, but they had the 69th annual roundtable conference on matters pertaining to horse racing. So the Jockey Club chairman, as you see in the picture there, Stuart S. Janney, was basically saying that he was talking about the whole Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act, about this is an opportunity for horse racing to clean itself up. And he's basically saying that if without it, horse racing is destined for, I don't want to say death, but trouble. And then you contrast that with what we've talked about the last couple of weeks about purses going up everywhere. How can you have those two things simultaneously? Either we pass the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act, or and we have record purses. How do those two things jive, Terry?
I don't know. It makes no sense to me. I mean, and also handles up in a lot of different places, which is really a good sign. So I have no idea. Although I do think they should make everything even across the board for the racing industry. So this might be a step towards that.
I don't doubt that Tom Carley mentions, he says that the Jockey Club is really wrong. Whether it's wrong or not, to me, it reminds me of here and here. He says, when history is written, it'll be clear who the obstructionists were and who opposed the industry's best opportunity to right our badly listing ship. So I understand he feels it's the best thing that you can do for horse racing, and I probably agree with that. At the same time, that approach, that coercive approach, to me, like either you do what I say, like a 4-year-old stomping its feet, or it's going to be the end of this business. You're an obstructionist. No, I have a different concern. So either he's never read a book on negotiation or on persuasion, or he's always gotten his way in his life and he's unwilling to sit down and listen to what somebody else has to say. So to me, I understand Louisiana and some other states say we have particular issues. Instead of stomping your feet and saying, okay, I'm going to take my ball, horse racing is going to die, do this or it's over. Why not sit down and try to address everybody's needs, come up with a package that makes everybody, works for everybody, and then you will perhaps even improve on what's sitting out there already. To me, that's how you approach it, not bang, you better do it, otherwise we're in trouble.
Yeah, I think so. I think your approach is a little better. And I see that Thomas is talking about that horses are only running once every 2 months because they're so brittle. And I agree with that. Over the years, I've been going a long time. I remember when they used to run every 7 to 10 days. And now most of them go, 6 weeks or 6 weeks, something like that. So.
Well, I did notice that in the they also had Greg LeMond, who is, if I remember correctly, he's a Tour de France winner. Should know a little bit about that with Lance Armstrong. He says a clean sport is good for business. I wholeheartedly agree with that. He mentions here trainers who get caught doping should never be allowed back into the sport, period. I'm not so sure that I'm all about zero tolerance policies. We see how those work elsewhere. Maybe a 3-strike policy or a 2-strike policy, right? That would be, I think, a little bit better. Okay, you get caught once, severe penalty. You get caught twice, you're out of the business. Something along those lines. But I've never been a big fan of zero tolerance because sometimes people need a second chance. And when you give them a second chance to redeem themselves, they do. If they don't redeem themselves, then you know what? You're right. You're out of here.
Yes, I agree with that. I think doing it on the first is not the way to go. And because sometimes maybe even though they're found guilty, maybe they weren't guilty. Maybe it was something beyond their control. And now that's going to get them to be more observant and really pay more attention to what's going on in their organization.
Yes, there are some people who are on strike 34, maybe beyond. I call them the dog ate my homework licenses. And I think we talked about Bob, B.O.B. I think he's going to be around until the Breeders' Cup, and then he's going to retire. If there were odds on that in Las Vegas somewhere, maybe if a book is listening, put odds on there of Bob Baffert retiring. Was it on November 5th and the 6th is the Breeders' Cup, if I remember? You got tickets, Terry. So Bob Baffert retires on November 7th. If there's a line out there, let me know about it. I'll go ahead and put a few bucks on it.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think it will work out. All right, yeah. Terry, speaking of things that normally work out, let's talk about your best bet of the day. I know we're going to do our pick four. Sorry, folks, little maintenance there. We're going to do our pick four to Indiana Grand, and you like to start off. Well, you're not actually going to start off. You're just at Indiana Grand. You're not helping anybody with their pick fives. Boo on you.
Not this day. Yeah, I like the third race. I looked at the pick five race, but I didn't care that much for it. I like the third race at Indiana Downs, and I like number 5, Sacred Sky, has this highest last speed rating and the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best dirt speed is the fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 4, Celio Blue. Ran a nice third in his last race, improving the buyer number by several points. And he likes the track and can handle the distance. And then I like number 6, which should be the favorite. I think it's going to be a pretty hard favorite. Son of Batman. He ran second versus similar in his last race.
Is that Robin?
Yeah. But
he was adopted, right? I just saw in the Lego movie that Robin was adopted.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And neither did I.
Anyway, he ran second versus similar in his last race, and his early speed running style will work in his favor. So that's what I think.
So, Terry, Tom wants to know, is your best bet the most likely winner or a best value, a horse that can win at a price? How would you define it?
Today, it's the most valued one because I think it's going to be third choice. A lot of times it's the best. It's might be the favorite. Whatever I come up with is what I play. I don't care if it's even money or 30-1.
Well, we know your philosophy. Where else can you double your money in 2 minutes? So don't bother Terry if he picks a 1-to-1, because nowhere else on the planet can you double your money in a minute and a half, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, at least any amount of money. All right, Terry, now we're off to an adventure that we haven't done before, which I think should be kind of interesting. We're going to do the prime rib pick four, but neither one of us submitted a ticket. I don't know who all your picks are. I do have an idea. I just briefly glanced at it when I put together the graphics. I have an idea who you might like based upon your hot dog pick four, but I just look at them, punch the numbers in, and pop away. I try not to know what you're doing until we're on the show. So let's go ahead and assemble a pick four ticket together. I have got my trusty Excel sheet out so I can put the tickets in there. And the way it's going to work, just again, to remind everybody, in case you weren't around at the beginning, Terry's going to start by putting a horse out, and then we're going to talk about that horse and decide if we want to add it to the pick four. And then when Terry's done, I'll put out a horse, we'll discuss it, and then we'll decide if we're going to add it to the pick four. Of course, we got to keep the budget under $100. And then finally, each of us has what's called a lock. So if Terry puts out a horse and I tell him, I don't want it, then Terry can say, you know what, Rich, too bad. I'm locking this one in, and it goes into pick four no matter what. You ready, Terry?
I'm ready.
All right, let's fire away. So we're going to start at Indiana Grand. I don't know why I always want to call it Downs. It is race number 6, 1 1/16 miles on the turf. And Terry, who are you going to start us off with?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, I call it Indiana Downs all the time too, so you're not the only one.
Great minds? Is it great minds or foolish minds? I'm not sure.
One or the other.
Yeah. Or something in between most of the time.
So in that first leg, my top pick is number 5, As I Look. He ran second on the first race since November 2020, and now he's returning to a distance where she has won 2 out of 3 races. So she likes this distance. She has a hot trainer who in the last 14 days has won 3 out of 6 races.
All right. Is that it?
That's it on number 5, yeah.
Number 5. Boy, let me see about number 5, what I like and what I don't like about number 5. So looking at As He Look, last time out was the first race as a 6-year-old mare, one of the lowest speed figures the horse has produced in the last year and a half. I do like the Indiana Downs angle, has run there 5 times, won 3 of them, came in third once. I do like to see that. Despite the little bit of a dip in the speed figure, I do notice that the 4 furlongs, or the second call, half-mile fractions, were a little bit faster than normal for this horse. So maybe the fade wasn't that bad at the end. It is a price at 15-1, Terry. I feel like we need a price in a ticket. Yep. So I'll go ahead and I'll put the 5. And I'll agree with you. It wasn't one that would have been in my hot dog pick 4. but we'll go ahead and stick it in our pick 4. Whoops, that didn't look right, did it?
No.
Oh, you know why that is? Hold on a second.
Expand.
I got to make it white. I don't know why it's not doing that. There we go. All right. So the 5 horse, it should copy and paste it the way it's supposed to, but you learn on the fly.
Yeah.
All right. For me, Terry, my top choice is number 3? Yes, number 3. That is Lady Leah. Lady Leah, even though this is a course that tends to favor horses that come off the pace, I think something like 53 or 54% of the winners are stalkers or closers. So speed does win its fair share. But when you look back, I'm a big cycle guy, Terry. You know that. You can see that the horses typically runs 3 races and goes to a break, 3 races and goes to a break. Well, this is the 3rd race in the cycle. The last 2 times it ran a 3-race cycle, it won both of them. Last time out, the horse was the favorite for trainer Kim Hammond. She rebounds at about 27, 28% with beaten favorites. I think the horse has a chance to get near the lead, stay at the lead, and maybe wire the field this time around and make it 3 consecutive wins and the 3rd start off a layoff. What do you think?
Yeah, number 3 is actually my second pick, Lady Leah. And I like her because she drops in class today. She has a high percentage trainer and jockey. And the jockey in the last 7 days in 11 mounts has won 3, ran second twice, and once 3rd. She likes this track, finishing 63% of the time in the money and finishing 45% of the time that she wins.
So that means you agree we're putting the 3 in? Is that what that means?
I do. I agree with the 3.
All right. So 5-3 so far. All right. Any other horse that you want to add, Terry?
Yeah, I like the number 4, Go Yo Woman. She closed at a mile to finish 4th by 1.5 lengths only, and now stretches out to a mile and 16th. And she is tied with the highest race speed rating and drops in class today.
Mm-hmm. Well, to add to that, Terry, I like the 4 as well. It has the top pedigree in the field. It is taking a slight purse drop from 19,000 to 14,500. I do like that. One thing is it does have a little bit of a history of running up front. So we kind of do have a speed horse in there already. So that's a little bit of a concern to me. But at the same time, it's shown some versatility. The horse has been able to come from off the pace as well. I'm a little concerned about the record at Indiana Downs. I am a horse for the course guy. This horse has not really been a horse for the course, only winning 1 out of 3 and failing to finish in the money in any other. So I'm reluctantly agreeing, but I think we're kind of closing in on the maximum number of picks we can have. Otherwise, we might not have any money left.
That's correct. Yeah, I think you're right. So.
All right. So I don't know what's with this. Let me put one more out there, Terry, and then we'll decide if this one, it's not a lock for me. So I'm kind of tipping my hand a little bit here. So I won't force it in. But I also like the 9, Drinks on Me. It's another horse coming off the 3rd race, another horse in the 3rd race off a layoff. And it's coming in from what I would consider better tracks, coming in from Gulfstream coming in from Arlington via Gulfstream. And I've noticed looking back at some other horses that make the Arlington to Indiana Grand switch, that those horses actually see some improvement in terms of their speed numbers and their performance. And number 9, I expect might have an opportunity to do that. What do you think?
Yeah, I hadn't really picked number 9 as one of my horses, but looking at the form, it ran a really good race last time. It actually led most of the way, and only at the end did it run out of gas. I actually like the 8 better. Because the 8 likes the distance and the track, and she has a high percentage trainer. It switches jockeys to a high percentage jockey. Mm-hmm. But
and that last race speed figure was over par too. So we can only pick one, Terry. And I did not have the 8 in my rankings. Like I said, I'm not going to use a lock. So I think we can either go with the 9 or we can move on to the next race.
Well, let's go with we can always come back, can't we?
Yeah, we can. If we have money left, we can revisit.
Okay, let's do that. Let's wait and come back. How's that?
Okay, so no 9, no 8 for now.
Okay.
Race number 7 is next on the board. So let's take a look at race number 7. Let me just page down on my thing here real quick. So I have the race number 7 is 5.5 furlongs. This is a different race in that speed matters here, Terry. And this one, you have the first-time starters versus a few horses with a little bit of history in them. There's a major favorite in this race. That's number 5. I'm not going to start with number 5. He's 3-5. I always want to beat a 3-5, especially on something like this. So I'm going to start with number 7, Lady Bernadette. The last race looks pretty awful on paper. Ran 9th, finished 21 lengths behind the winner, but a little bit of a deeper dig. And you see that at the 4 furlong time, ran a 46-4. It was 10 lengths off. So that's roughly 2 seconds. 48-4 would probably make it one of the faster horses in this field, as sad as that might be. Right. But hey, you know what? It could win you at Arlington, right? You can beat domestic spending if you can run a half a mile in 48-4. So you got 53 seconds to do it at Arlington. He's got 48 seconds, Lady Bernadette, to go ahead and do it today at Indiana Grand. What do you say?
Well, she was actually my 4th pick. So, because she was off slow in her first career race, and she has average workouts, but she drops in class today. So I would not be objective to put her in there.
All right, so we'll put the 7 in there. Let's hope the 7 beats her. That's the goal, right, Terry?
Yes.
So in terms of your horse, what do you like? Are you going to put the 5 in, or are you going to go somewhere else?
I am not. And I'm like you. I really didn't like the 5 much. And I like the 4, Friend. It's finished in the money 2 out of 4 races this year. Trainers on the first time maiden claiming wins 33% of the time. So
you want to go with the 4, Friend, huh?
I do.
Ooh, are you willing to lock that one in?
Let me look at my other ones here. Yes.
You're willing to lock the 4 in. Okay, Terry's going to lock the 4 in. All right. I don't want to go too much deeper in this race at all, Terry, because I feel like I don't feel like we should lose the pick 4 on the potential single. So you want to put him in, leave him out, move on, maybe put the 2 horse in there. What do you think?
Actually, the 2 looks good, but I think let's move on.
Let's move on. You want to toss the 5? I think looking at the workouts on the 5, they are the best of all the workouts in the field. And Brad Cox debuting a horse at Indiana Grand, obviously not one of its better horses, or it wouldn't be debuting at Indiana Grand, right?
Right.
But I don't want to lose a pick 4. Cashing a ticket is better than not cashing a ticket, Terry, if the 5 comes home first. So we'll revisit it. So right now we're going to revisit in the race number 6, the 7 and the 8. And this was something I wasn't expecting, so I have to keep notes now. Race 7, we'll come back and revisit the 5. Race number 8, Terry. I know from your hot dog that you want to all this leg.
Yeah, it's a wide open race. It really is. But my top pick is number 3, Mr. Gary D. He likes the distance, winning 38% of the races at 7.5 furlongs. He likes the track, finishes 50% of the time in the money. He's winning 25% of those races. He drops in class today and has a sharp workout on August 10th of 101.2 breezing for 5 furlongs. He was the 3rd out of 15 workouts that day.
So the 3 horses, your top pick? Yes, indeed, Terry. Well, I'm going to agree with you. Mr. Terry D, or Mr. Gary D, whatever his name is, was my top pick as well. It is taking probably the biggest class drop in the field. So I feel that in the 8-horse Secretariat War are taking the biggest class drops in the field. I feel like that class relief is going to help Mr. Gary D. I'm on board with you. We'll go ahead and put Mr. Gary D in the prime rig pick 4. Let's move that over here to race number 8. Let's see if this now what technology. You got to love it and you got to hate it, right?
Yeah.
Number 3. All right. So for me, my next pick is I'm going to go with number 8. As I mentioned, that's Firewater Jake, another horse that's taking, another horse taking a decent sized class drop, the second biggest class drop in the field. I feel like the 8-horse also presents let me just pop up into another screen real quick. I got to get to my notes, so forgive me.
Actually, isn't that Secretariat War?
Number 8?
Yeah.
Oh, let's make sure. Oh, yes, you're right. Secretary at War. I'm looking at the 7 horse. Secretary at War. You're right, Terry.
Okay.
So looking at the horse, ran some little bit better fractions last time out. The horse is making a dirt to turf change. It did show some improvement the last time it made a dirt to turf change, which I kind of like to see that angle. You also have a trainer and jockey combo that they don't necessarily hit at a high rate together, but standing alone, both of them are pretty solid. I like the fact that the 8 horse is also going to be amongst one of the fastest in terms of coming home late. It's just another distance where when you're coming home, you have to have some late kick because closer stalkers tend to have the advantage. So I am going to suggest we go ahead with number 8, Terry.
Well, number 8 was actually my 4th pick, Secretary at War, and his average winnings per race is higher than the rest of all the starters at today's race, and he drops in class today. He has the best turf speed among today's starters, so I would agree with number 8.
All right, number 8. So next.
Okay, I like number 4, Better Watch Out.
Better watch out.
He drops
Better
in
not
class.
cry. This horse is bad, I'm telling you why.
He drops in class today and he gets a hot jockey. In the last 7 days, this jockey in 11 mounts has had 3 winners, 2 seconds, and a third. During his career, he's finished 53% of the time in the money and won 18% of those races.
Well, Terry, I don't know, my friend. This might be the first one I bounce on and don't agree with you on, my friend.
Okay.
The horse looks a little tired to me. Last time out, 7 by 13, and didn't really have an excuse. It tends to like to be in the front. I understand that Jeffrey Greenhill is one of the top trainers there at Indiana Grand, so I'm all for that. Four outings at Indiana Grand, yet to find the winner's circle. So for me, this horse, outside of the trainer and the jockey combination, it doesn't make it my cut, Terry. So I'm going to veto this one. Is it a lock for you, or did we use that? Oh, we used that already, didn't we?
Yeah, we already used my lock. So.
Uh-oh. If the 4 doesn't win, Terry's going to be so mad tomorrow if the 4 wins.
Yeah, but then the public will know.
Yes, you got to. Everybody else out there right now, go ahead and play that one. All right, Terry. The next one for me is number 10. And that horse is, Fade Away. Last time out at Arlington Park. Again, I like that Arlington Park to Indiana angle. The horse is at Arlington 1. It closed very hard with some of the best late pace figures in the field. At Indiana, it's run there twice, though. It has only got a second there. But when Tony Grandis puts his horses and keeps them in claiming, they do win at a high rate, 1 out of 3, so 33%. Had the highest last race speed figure, and that speed figure, Terry, I think was at least pretty close to par for this level. I like number 10, Fade Away, as my 3rd choice. And it did win its last race running away. Seems to be in good form. 3 consecutive speed figures increases and a top trainer. I'm all over the 10.
Absolutely. It's my 5th pick. And as I said, this race is really wide open. As you said, he has the highest last speed rating, and the trainer wins 32% of the time when he brings a horse that's a claimer back and repeats with that horse. So I would agree with number 10.
Number 10. Okay, we got a problem with the Clippard. There we go.
There we go.
Number 10. So we might can come back maybe if we have any money and decide where we want to go. Do you have any other horses? I know you have. That's it for me, Terry. So
okay,
what about you?
I like number 7 as my 3rd pick, Firewater Jake. He ran a good 3rd in his last race after a 4-month layoff. He drops in class and shortens to 7.5 furlongs, which may help his front-running style. He has a trainer that 18% of the time wins when they come back. And then he has a good 5 furlong workout of 102, breezing 3rd of 15. So
I like the 7 horse too, Terry. This horse making it second, start off a layoff. Second time off a layoff, the horse typically improves. Again, I'm a big style guy. So I feel like you're going to see some improvement here. The horse should be near the front. Although, again, it does look like the distance favors more of a closer stalker type. but has shown the ability to close and well, not necessarily close, but stalk the leader. I'll agree with you, Terry. We'll go ahead and put the 7 in here, Firewater Jake. Besides, I'm a name player. Everybody knows I like to play names as well. There's not a better named horse in this race than Firewater Jake.
All right.
Right?
Yep, that's right.
Are we done with this race or are we moving on?
Well, we can always come back.
All right. So race number 10, Terry. Go ahead, start it off.
Okay, I like number 2, Birdie the Beauty. Has finished 100% of the time the money this year and won 25% of those races. Also has a high percentage trainer and high percentage jockey.
Well, it was about my 5th pick, Terry. I vetoed you once. I'm not gonna veto you on your top pick. If one of them was your top pick, I would go ahead and I wouldn't feel so bad vetoing it. But since it is your top pick, I will not veto you. We'll go ahead and throw the 2 in there. I'm going to start off with number 10. That is the favorite, Lieutenant Kitty. Last time out, missed by a neck as the favorite. Well, it's been the favorite 4 straight races, and it failed, obviously, in the last 3. It is trying grass for the first time. That's not such a concern for me. When you look at the sloppy track race, it was pretty bad. But I feel like this horse on that last trip showed some major improvement in terms of its late pace numbers. I feel like the late pace is going to help the horse here at a distance that favors late pace horses. I'm all over the number 10. In fact, a little later on, you're going to see that in my hot dog, I singled the 10.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think? You're in? You're not in?
No, I like the 10. That's my 2nd pick and has the highest last speed rating in the race. And she's was beaten only by a nose in her last race. Really good race. And wins 50% of the time the trainer when he brings a beaten favorite back.
All right. Yeah, that's a pretty good rate, right? Good ratio right there for sure.
It is.
All right. That's it for me, Terry. Well, no, I have a couple of other ones. So go ahead. Do you have another pick?
Yeah. Number 4, Myers Tiger. I like it for a couple of reasons. Number 1, my daughter's name before she got married this last name was Myers. So like you, I like to play the names. But she's trying turf for the first time, and the dam has actually produced a turf winner. And then won 2 races in a row, and then ran a disappointing 5th, but had excuses. She reared at the start. So
number 4. Actually, number 4 was my 2nd choice. So I'm agreeing with you on Myers Tiger. We'll go ahead and put Myers Tiger in there, and hopefully this number 4 will make up for the last number 4 I didn't agree with you on.
Okay.
All right. You have any more?
I do.
Well, go ahead. Fire away. Maybe it's the same one.
What, number 6, Strong Illusion. Is that yours?
That was going to be it. So tell us why you like Strong Illusion.
I have has one of the best turf speeds among today's starters, tied, and can handle the distance and the track. So,
well, it also has the top pedigree, Terry, in the field, and produced one of the best last race speed figures in the field. So I like that as well. So I don't mind betting pedigree, especially when you're running on turf. I think pedigree on turf is a little bit more important than it is on dirt, because it just seems to me it has a more of an. I haven't had as much success with dirt horses when I look at the pedigree as I do with horses on grass. So maybe it's a little bit anecdotal. I'm not sure. So right now, looking at our ticket, we have 16 times 2 is 32, right?
Yep.
Times 3, 32 times 3 is $96.
So
divided by 2, so we're at 48, right?
Yep.
So we have a little bit of money left to spend, Terry. Which race do you want to go back, or do you have another one for race number 9?
No, I don't have any more for 9. I don't care for the 5 very much in the 7th, but I'm always afraid of that hard favorite, and its morning line's 3-5. So maybe we should put the 5 in that 7th race.
All right. So that probably leaves us one more horse, Terry.
Yeah.
So you want to go with which one?
I'd like to go with the 8th race again and put number 11 in there, Fade Away.
Number 11, Fade Away?
Yeah, he's having a good year, finishing 50% of the time the money, and won 25% of those races.
All right. Let me look at number 11 here in case there's something else. What race is that number? Race number 8? Eighth race. So I got to, I did not know we were going to go back to the 8th race. So I have to swing back real quick. Forgive me while I look at the program. My race notes. The 11. In race, which number?
Number 11 in the 8th race.
That is Cabatros.
Fade Away.
Fade Away in the race, in the 8th race. Oh.
Do I have it wrong?
No, yeah, that's number 10, Terry. We have number 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, number 11 is
I'm sorry.
Cabertos, and that horse is an also entry horse. So I'm not quite sure if that horse is in or
you're
not.
right. So let's
or also eligible.
Let's not do that. So you've got, do you have one you want to stick somewhere?
No, I'm pretty clean with what we have here, Terry. I mean, the only
okay, let's just leave it like that then.
Wait, weren't we supposed to have the 9 horse in race number 6? Yes, we were. Instead of the 4, I think. Yeah. And the 4 was the one you wanted to put in there. So should we leave the 4 in there then?
Yeah, let's leave the 4 in.
Right? In race number 6, you wanted the 4, right?
Yeah, the 8 was the one that we didn't put in of mine, but let's put the 9 in.
Okay, so let's see where we're at now. We're at 16 times 4 is 64 times 3, right? So that's 192. Is that right?
I think so.
16 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 18, 19. 192 divided by 2 is $96. There you go. So there it is. The first collaborative pick for the prime rib. 5, 3, 4, 9 in leg 1, 7, 4, 5 in leg 2. Race number 8, the 3, the 8, the 10, and the 7. Race number 9, 2, 10, 4, and 6. What did you all think about that? Tell us what you think about it in the notes. It was kind of a fun exercise for me. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, it changed. My ticket changed somewhat from what I would have played, but that's always good because there's a lot of times there's things that you pick up that I don't see. And so it makes it nicer.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Hopefully it's a winner.
I hope so.
That's the most important thing, right?
It'd be really nice if it is, yes.
Yes. All right. Well, let's go ahead and look at our hot dog pick 4s then real quick, Terry.
Okay.
The hot dog pick 4. There's your hot dog pick 4. So everyone take a look at that real quick. Terry, there might be a few horses in there that we didn't have that you might want to talk about. For me, most of my picks are the same. Except the 2 horse in race 7 got bounced for me. So, oh well.
Yeah, the only one was the 11 that it was talking about. So
yeah, and that's also eligible horse.
Yeah, and then as you can see in the pick 4 hot dog, I used the 5 just because I was, at 3 to 5. Maybe somebody knows a lot more than I do. Even though it was my second choice, I went ahead and used the 5. So.
As a single, yep.
Yep.
I didn't single the 10 in the last race. In my first ticket, I was going to single the 10, but then I went back and looked at the 4. So my hot dog is $18. Terry's hot dog is $18. That wraps up the first of our build it on the fly pick 4s team efforts. Our hot dog pick 4s, Terry. Yep. Anything else you want to add before we close the show today?
Well, just that, as you said, the 11 horse was also eligible and it's not running. So that drops out of mine.
Fantastic. There you have it, folks. That wraps up this show. Terry and I will be back tomorrow. Do you want to do it the same way, Terry? Or you want to go back to the old way?
No, let's do it the same way. See how it works for a while.
And we'll be doing Colonial Downs tomorrow. So they have bigger fields. So it should be a real fun show, that one.
Yep.
And then also after the show, after we're done with our pick 4s, we're going to have Tom back for international racing because they have some huge races, I think, at York Racetrack in England that include a few Breeders' Cup qualifying races, although those horses may or may not come in to the Breeders' Cup. But nonetheless, they are horses you want to know about. We'll be making our picks for those. So tomorrow is a Tuesday show, so we'll be making our picks. Terry and I will be making our picks for Tuesday. Terry, Tom, and I will be making our English works picks for Wednesday. So I know it's a little confusing, but the clock makes us do it that way. Yeah. All right, Terry, I had a lot of fun putting this ticket together. I hope it's a winner for everybody, right?
Yes, I do. I hope so.
And if you like what you saw today, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there. Hit the bell. Follow us on Twitter or Facebook at Racing Radar. We have a lot of great content, good stories up on the Horse Racing Radar website. Some more analysis and picks. I think they have the free they have free picks for the first 3 races for every race. If you're a member, you get the first 5 races. So there's a lot of great content over at Horse Racing Radar. And some great content on our social sites as well. Until we meet again in 23 hours, in a little less than 30 minutes, Derek, because it took us a little longer than usual today.
It did, yes.
Good luck at the races, and we hope to see you in the winner's circle.